think we should privatize some of our apartments.
All right. Alrighty, the time is 4:39 p.m. and I hereby commence this meeting. You may all be seated for comment.
All right, when I call your name, please say here or present, starting with Alon.
Present.
Applebaum.
Here.
Garcia Kono.
Excused.
Labar.
Present.
Chevelle.
Present.
Connell. Present. Curtis.
Present.
Dressel.
Present.
Triggers.
Here.
Emery.
Present.
Ferris.
Present.
Kaplan.
Present.
Inga.
Present.
Jacobs.
Present.
Jumbanaca.
Present.
Kovacev.
Present.
Locke.
Present.
Lorenzo.
Excuse.
Major.
Excuse.
McAfee.
Present.
McCauley.
Present.
Munisal.
Excused.
Palumbo.
Present.
Parks.
Excused.
Racine.
Present.
Wawat.
Present.
Sedlak.
Present.
Shea Islami.
Here.
Tatum.
Present.
Vito.
Present.
Williams.
Present.
White.
Present.
Zaman.
Excused.
And Zundira. That is 27 present, 7 absent.
All right, and with that, this will bring us to the approval of the agenda. Are there any objections to the approval of the agenda?
I object.
State your objection.
My fault, forgot to add Chair Dressel's budget presentation to the agenda today, so I'd like to add the budget presentation to the presentation section of the agenda immediately following the Quill Camp presentation.
Is this seconded?
Seconded.
All right, all in favor of adding the budget presentation on?
Aye.
Any opposed? Beautiful. It shall be done. Adding the budget presentation after Quill Camp presentation. This will bring us back to the approval of the agenda. Are there any further objections to the approval of the agenda? Alrighty, seeing none, this will bring us to the approval of the journal. Are there any objections to the approval of the journal? Beautiful. Seeing none, this will now take us to presentations, beginning with our Quill Camp presentation.
Should we stand here?
You can stand wherever you want.
This is intimidating. See my grandma. So hi y'all, my name is Rita Sadie. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior here at Mason, and today we are representing Quill Camp. So we are under the Office of New Student Enrollment Program, and we run this kind of counselor info session every year for the summertime. We'll get into that a little bit more, but we'll go over here.
Yeah, my name is Matt Rankin. I also use she, her pronouns. I also work in the Office of New Student Enrollment Program. That's the orientation office if you don't know who we are. I work with the family team, but I'm here supporting Rita. We're going to give you all a little info about Quill Camp.
All right, so next slide, please. Intros, we just did that. So what I'm going to go over today is, I'm going to skip the first part, but what is a Quill Camp counselor and why are we here talking to y'all about it, of all people? Certain camps and dates we do offer, as well as responsibilities of what you will be charging if you're interested in the role. Once again, we'll get into that in a second. Compensation, this is a paid position we are promoting on campus, as well as application timeline. Scroll down here. So what is Quill Camp specifically? It is a summer program we run every year for incoming freshman students. I went to Quill Camp as a freshman 4 years ago. It changed my whole experience. So we have a government-centered Quill Camp, and that's the one I attended. We went to the U.S. Institute of Peace, the State Department, the German Embassy. So I came in as a gov major, but I learned through global affairs that was a program, and I switched to that. So it's just a great opportunity for networking as well as the certain student trying to get acquainted with Mason. It's kind of an extended orientation program.
Yes, and all the programs that the students attend, you all also get to attend. You don't have to do just the government one if you are a double major or if your major is not government. I'd be surprised if it is in this room. But if your major is like theater, we have a theater camp too. They went and saw Hamilton for free last summer. So you get to do all the stuff the students do for any of the camps, and you all can participate in any of the camps.
Once again, you can skip this slide. So what is a Quill Camp counselor more specifically is that undergraduate students who have a passion for welcoming and mentoring incoming Mason students by facilitating and guiding the Quill Camp experience. So think of your classic summer camp counselor, just a little bit different, tailored to college students, so it does have a more of an adult feel. And these camps are focused on helping incoming students as well as y'all as potential counselors.
Yeah. So these students have a lot of passion for their job. They are here to be student leaders, and they really want to just help students transition. And in addition to orientation, so this is kind of students in between orientation and the first day of classes, their chance to get to know campus, make friends, network, things like that. So we take a lot of pride in our counselors being part of that transition.
And I remember 3 of my counselors when I was in Cool Camp were part of student government, and there was a section where they had a student government panel. So a lot of the incoming students, me included, were super interested in what student government was, and that was another piece of promotion. Yeah, we'll move on later. Next slide, please. So what camps are offered specifically? We have Republic, which is a government and DC center-based camp. So this is from July 18th to the 22nd. Like I was saying earlier, you do a lot of leadership things with the incoming students, as well as have trips to DC. As a counselor, everything is covered for y'all, including with your payment and stuff, so housing, food, once again, we'll get into that a little later. But there's also a true crime camp. This is based around criminology and forensic science. I know they went to a body farm last summer, so they got to visit certain types of that. They had lectures from a lot of crim professors on campus. They went to the Spy Museum in DC, as well as Studio, which is an arts-centered camp, like Matt was saying. They got to see Hamilton. They got to do a filmmaking thing. So again, this is based around personal interest for the students as well as the counselors. So whoever wants to apply can apply based off experience or just what they're passionate about as an individual. Next slide, please.
Yeah, and so we have our outdoor adventure camps as well. So these are for our outdoorsy people. If you like to hike, if you like to camp, all of those. Strictly, we don't glamp, we camp. It's out in the woods with the tents, in the rain, snow, sunshine, any of those. But that's Project Peak. So we have Transfer Sneak Peek, Freshman Sneak Peek, as well as Project Peak. All of those are outdoor camps. So for our more outdoorsy folks, you all are welcome to come and guide those camps with all of questions.
Next slide, please. So some responsibilities, I'm not going to go over all of them, but you are going to facilitate small group discussions with your potential students, as well as various topics specific to each campus theme. You will stay overnight in provided residence halls on campus with the participants. You will facilitate discussions, activities, again, your classic camp counselor, and assist with planning and coordination, as well as participate in all trainings necessary for the position. Next slide, please. Compensation, my personal favorite part. So you will be compensated for the camp. Once again, housing is provided as well as all meals during the duration of your camp. So counselors are compensated at $13.50 an hour. Calculating this as a total, it's around $900 for 6 days of work. Pretty good deal. And it's pretty fun. You get a lot of other benefits as well. Like we were talking about earlier, networking is a big, big piece of it. You are there for the students, but at the end of the day, if you wanted to utilize those opportunities and meeting those certain types of people, you can totally do that.
Yeah, in addition to the compensation, it's honestly just a great networking site. Rita and I have both worked for the office for 3 years now, and we're still here for a reason. We really enjoy all the people we meet in addition to the compensation, and it's not just the money, like Rita said, it's meals, it's experiences, it's things like that that are not as tangible, but just valuable.
Next slide. We can skip this. So application timeline and terms. The application is now open and closes on February 24th. You can apply if you just Google Quill Camp Counselor GMU, it should come up. Your contract length is from April 11th to August 18th. Does not mean you're going to be working every single day those kind of couple months, but it just means you are an employee during the time of that duration, and you will have trainings during that as well that you get paid for around the end of April. You must work the entirety of the camp you are assigned, and you must attend all meetings and necessary trainings to be considered as a I think that's it. Any questions of the application?
Just for you all's knowledge, you don't have to work every camp. If you're not an outdoorsy person, you won't catch me out in the woods. I won't be there. So, but if you just want to do the government one, if you just want to do the studio one, or whichever one you want to do, you only have to work with your contractor too.
Yeah.
Did you have a question in the back?
Aiden?
Yeah. So say students in this room have a really busy classwork schedule, maybe they have a job, 2 jobs, stuff like that. They're really busy throughout the week, working 9 to 5, working all day, etc. What kind of is what does that look like with trainings? Are the trainings all in person? Are they flexible? Are they online?
Good question. So there is one training during the semester because this is a summer program. That's going to be on a Saturday. We understand we're busy as well as coordinators and stuff. So we picked one Saturday during April where you're just going to do an extensive amount of training. And during the summer, I think it's 2 days before the actual start of the camp, you'll have a full boot camp training on what to expect of the students. So that's going to be 2 days before you're contracted, so that's summertime. So whatever commitments you have, you just block that out for the week of camp. Well, if not, Paul, if you don't mind sending my email to whoever has a question, that'd be totally cool. But thank you for your time.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have an amazing rest of your week and weekend. Happy homecoming. This will now bring us to our SG budget report led by Chair Dressel.
Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. So as you can see, we have even less money now. So I'll just get straight into it. So per my calculations, you can see all the bills that we've had this semester, and we have so far spent $13,631, which is a little bit under the $15,000 or so that we allocated. Remaining, we would have, from my totals, about $6,700 left. I still need to figure this one out real quick, but yeah, it's pretty much the total, $6,700. So, now, there's a little bit of a complication here with the operational budget. It's mostly on my part. There are some things I want to move out of the operation, or out of our Senate budget that we've used and put it into our operational budget, which has roughly $4,700 left as well. And you know, just like things like the Canva expense, phone services, printing, etc. So I hope to move those out, and then if we can't do so, which I believe we should, at least for most of the expenses, then we'll actually have about $4,700 left. And I know that that total is quite far away, but that's not all the expenses I want to move out. That's just some examples. So the presidential budget has about $640 left. That's given, our president's given $1,000 each year to work on initiatives or to use for their discretion. So just like the same general rules that I always talk about, if you have a funding initiative that you need help with, you can come to me or the advisors. If you're a chair and there's a recurring event or just an event that you know is coming up, please come to me and let me know. That way I can try to account for that money and you can start planning for that. But yeah, in general, just keep me updated, advisors updated. Yeah. Is there any questions?
Yeah, if you can go back to the one that all the spending bills, I just wanted to ask, it seems like we spent more money than we allocated on basic lobbies, so I just want to know how we account for that.
I have yet to be able to ask that question, but that is true, we did spend more than, go ahead.
Yeah, the catering estimate was way under what the catering total ended up being. So we overshot our catering.
Hi.
So if you all have any questions about the budget, I'm happy to give a presentation as well and ask any questions. I kind of do my own, so for those who don't know, I have a P card, which is the university P card, right? And I use that P card to when bill passes through, and I merge with Mel, and I merge with Paul and other folks. When things pass through, I buy it with my P card. So I usually get the final totals at the end, and then I put it in a spreadsheet. If you have any questions, please come meet with me. I'm meeting with Curtis next week about the budget. So if you have any questions or anything like that, I'm happy to really go into detail. And I have, if you need to see any receipts or anything like that, I have documentation of that. So John kind of keeps his own record, but I send the Excel spreadsheet that I made in Lauren language to the lead team, as well as I copy John. So I just kind of want to give that explanation. I do have some questions about the budget. I don't know, it's kind of hard to hear back here, so I don't know if John kind of explained how he got those numbers. I wasn't able to catch you before the Senate meeting, so I still do have some additional questions, but I also don't want to take up time, because I know that you all have a lot going on this evening as well. So thank you.
Do we not get an additional, so if I'm not mistaken, the budget is sort of proportioned so that we get like 3/4 of it the first semester and another quarter the second semester. Is that correct?
I don't believe that's correct. I don't remember seeing something like that in the code. If it is, that's,
It is X amount reserved, but Secretary Dudak, speak more on it.
Yeah, only 65% of the budget is available to be spent in the first semester, while the rest of it is completely unlocked for the second semester. So, I can't speak to how much is spent in the first semester total, whether it exceeds that total or not. I believe that number would be in the 13,000 around there, is how much we have available that first semester. But now we have the full 20,500 available to us.
Okay, so that money has been added for the budget now.
what do you mean by that?
Budget is like blanket, we have this much, but we can only spend X amount of this much per semester. Now we have everything else.
Okay, I understand. So we didn't go over what we spent last semester then? Our reserve amount, okay.
Chair Dressel, do you feel like we're financially in good shape, that we're on track as far as like spending goes, or
Yeah, I believe so. We talked a little bit in admin. I believe this past week, we discussed how it's really crucial that we spend all of our money. I think we're on track to do that. I would be more worried about not spending the money for all of it right now than I would be that we're going to like or something like that. But I think we're financially stable.
Any other quick questions? We do have a ton to get to, so I don't want to spend too long. And of course, there's the admin and finance committee. You can feel free to pop in at any time. And again, you can contact John or Lauren Kaplan herself, as she controls the budget fairly. She's the one that buys everything. But any kind of just quick questions anyone else has?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
So the semesterly report that I'm required to give for the year is going to be on the website soon. I've just been working that out with the website manager. So that'll be on there soon. And then I also plan to give, there will be at least probably one more presentation for this semester. I'll be giving thorough chair reports on the budget. I try to keep this as, I try to make it less confusing, but sometimes it just is, I apologize for that. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much, Chair Dressel. Always amazing to receive updates on our economic status. So this will now take us out of presentations and into the election of committee chairs. However, before we begin, I was going to say this in my report, but I wanted to put it out there real quickly beforehand to all senators, and well, all senators know this, but most specifically gallery members. These meetings are recorded and they are posted. I believe for this meeting, the discussion and debate portions will be redacted from the recording in post-production. However, the camera will stay on. So just putting that out there for any of the appointees today, but also just for the general body to know of. But with that being said, this will now bring us into election of committee chairs, beginning and ending with the election of the chair of the Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Committee. So this will bring us to nominations. Beginning with round one nominations, Senator Lam.
I nominate Buzz.
Senator Rawat, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Amazing. This will close the first round of nominations and open the second round of nominations. Is there anyone else who would like to nominate any individuals? All right, this will close the second round, opening up the third round. Anyone else that would like to nominate? Seeing none, that will close the nomination round. And this will now bring us to the candidate statement. Senator Watts, do you have a candidate statement?
I do. I want to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, fellow senators and members of the gallery. First off, thank you, Senator Long, for your nomination and for thinking of me to fill the Dama chair position. I would like to start by going back to my decision to run for student senate in the fall. As a trans person, I've never had the luxury of seeing people like me in positions of leadership. Everywhere from my high school student government to Congress with spoke with predominantly white, cisgendered individuals who have never accounted for people like me when making policy decisions. When I learned about student government, I saw an opportunity to give people like me the representation I never had. So I ran. After being sworn in, I hit the ground running with initiatives that would impact the lives of my community. First, I launched a robust initiative to bring gender-inclusive ADA-compliant bathrooms to every part of campus, which expanded into a much larger conversation on how facilities can do a better job at accounting for the needs of marginalized students in all of its decisions. Now, I'm planning events to recognize and celebrate upcoming Women's History Month. Each of my initiatives so far have circled back to the ideas of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've spent my time in the Senate amplifying the voices of communities who don't have the power to do it for themselves. The Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Committee is at the heart of all of my student government work and experience, which is why I know I'm the right person to transform this department into a fighting force against inequitable policies and to put strong action behind our words. It's time to make our campus more accessible for disabled students. It's time to start putting in the work to strengthen our relationships with cultural organizations, and it's time to foster safe and vibrant communities for all marginalized students. And it's far past time to elect the first trans person to a position in Senate leadership. Thank you, and I yield.
Questions for the candidate. So I'll open it up. Are there any questions for the candidate? Senator Kovacek.
I would like to ask the candidate what experience they have with leadership or any initiatives other than student government that the candidate has involved themselves in.
Do you yield for the question?
Yeah, like outside of student government?
Yes.
So outside of student government, I'm part of this thing called Pride Liberation Project. It's a coalition that mainly involves LGBTQ plus community plus like reproductive rights. We lobby and we try to talk to legislators about issues such as like the anti-trans bills, pro-life bills, or like statements as instead. Over the last year, I've talked to a lot of delegates about it. We try to gain support with people on issues that we want to be heard. For example, last year I talked to a delegate about like giving more financial aid, actually, more into this with the whole thing. Or missing what's happening. But yeah, so that's some things I've done.
Does this answer your question?
Yes, there you go.
Beautiful. Senator Long.
So I have a question about, do you have any plans or like how you would engage the multicultural organizations there, especially like the religious ones?
Do you yield for the question?
So I'm personally Hindu, but like for like the Muslim Student Association and the Muslim students, I'm not personally Muslim, so I would try to talk to people within student government who are Muslim, like if they're part of the associations, and try to go to meetings. I just want to be respectful as possible when going to meetings like that, because I don't want to like say anything inappropriate or accidentally record. So I want to first reach out to the Senate as a whole, and then try to go to general body meetings of the religious orgs.
Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Racine.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. In your mind, what does DAMA do? Not just in philosophy, but functionally.
Do you yield for the question?
DAMA, first off, we try to reach out to all of the different types of organizations, multicultural orgs, things like that. I know former Secretary Alana Hall did a wonderful job of starting that up, and Vice Chair Rock is obviously continuing that now. So I think one of the things we do is reach out to multicultural orgs. Another thing is that I personally believe that DAMA tries to make campus accessible for everyone on campus. That's a really big thing. That's a really big thing that I really want to make clear in DAMA, that we should make it accessible and safe for everyone, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, background, things like that.
Was this satisfactory answer?
Yeah. To be clear, my hearing sucks.
It's okay.
It's not you, it's me. I yield.
Any other questions for the candidate at hand? Senator Curtis.
Could the candidate speak to how they would handle sensitive relationships that SG may have managed poorly in the past, and as we're trying to recover and fix them, exactly how they envision handling those sensitive relationships with care, so that we can prosper in them later.
Do you answer the question?
Yeah, I mean, first I would reach out to all the executive board and those orgs. I know it's already been done, and I know that meetings already been had. And I know a lot of the orgs are tentative to work with us, but I think we just have to work at their own pace. If we push them any farther, that's just gonna make them retreat and be like, whoa, not cool. So I think we just have to go at their own pace, and when they're ready to work with us, then we're here.
Does this answer your question?
Yes.
Any other questions for the candidate applicant? Alrighty, seeing none, I'll ask the candidate to leave the room at this time so we may move into discussion and debates. objections, now Chair Watts. Very well deserved. This will now take us out of election of committee chairs and into officer reports, beginning with my reports. Hello, good evening now, everyone. I hope you all are doing fantastic this homecoming week. Not too much today, especially because we got a lot going on in terms of appointments, but just a reminder that President Washington, Rector Blackman, and Vice President Rose Pasquarello will be coming to Senate March 2nd. So that's going to be in a couple of weeks. Questions are due by the 21st, which is next Tuesday. I've currently only received a single question from current Secretary Keene. So, by a sire named William Keene. So yeah, if I could get more questions, that'd be amazing, so I don't have to sit at my desk trying to come up with some and make sure Senate isn't embarrassed, because I basically reflect the Senate. But yeah, that would be amazing if you guys could send me some questions. Code bills will be going through admin this coming week, so if you have anything to say about any of the code bills, make sure you're at admin, or make sure you give someone who is an admin those messages, because if we're sitting here next week, next Thursday, and you're saying something that you could have just told someone in the Admin and Finance Committee, I will not be too happy. So yeah, again, like I mentioned before, this meeting is recorded. Wanted to say that before we had our first appointment, before anything. Then also, homecoming is this weekend. Make sure to come out to the SG10, get some ice cream, meet some SG alumni. But most importantly, be safe. Do whatever, I guess maybe not do whatever you want, but just be safe. Don't do anything a scholarly fellow wouldn't do. And then also, come out to the basketball game, because we do have a couple rows reserved for SG, so similar to how we had for Gold Rush, so that's going to be super fun, close to the front, because it gets packed during homecoming. Probably the only game it'll get as packed as it does. And then also, we have Senate and a single exec appointment today, so I will be curbing questions as well as discussion and debates for the interest of time if I see it going on too long. But with that being said, that's all I got, so I'll move on to Speaker Pro Tem
Hello everybody, my name is Arush Ramrathan, I'm the Speaker Pro Tem 4. If you don't know me, my name is Arush Ramrathan, I'm the Speaker Pro Tem 4. I see less and less people smiling at that joke every week, and I know that my job is being done well. Anyway, on to the report. A bit of a downer this week. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we will be more strictly enforcing office hours. I know that all of you do show up and do put in the work, but I need you to write that down in that little handy-dandy binder. Trust and verify, and if your name isn't in that binder, signed, sealed, so on and so forth, I will unfortunately have to carry my duty and send you a lovely little email. I don't want to do that. You don't want to have that happen. Fill out the binder. Cool. Second point, if you couldn't tell by the agenda, we have a lot of appointments today. So in that same vein, just a quick refresh on discussion, debate, norms, and ethics. Don't just say, I agree with all the points brought up before me, and then yield at that, because that doesn't do anything. It just wastes everyone's time, and it is not conducive to good discussion and debate. If you harken back to the presentation we had last semester, our little workshop, there's a difference between discussion and debate and good discussion and debate, and we want good discussion and debate. Again, in that same vein, read Robert's rules for all the code bills next week. We will have a lengthy meeting, a lot of weeks in a row. It's just the norm, this has to be expected, but we can try and make them more and more efficient by knowing the code, knowing Robert's rules, knowing what we can and cannot do to have good, effective discussion and debate. Read the minutes. My announcement about the office hours should have come to no surprise to any of you if you did read the minutes, because it was in the lead minutes. Thank you, Senator Racine, for actually reading the minutes. Hopefully that's it. Anyway, don't read the minutes. Why? It's there for a reason. Our lovely clerk Connell does a lot of work to get that out to you every Wednesday. And like, I live with the guy, so I know exactly what it is that he does. Please respect that effort. Please read the minutes. Please brush up on Robert's rules, and please be sure to have effective discussion and debate. Great, thanks.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Clerk Connell.
Yeah, I'm going to start off my report today with a little bit of an apology. I was late today. Sorry about that, these meetings are long enough. I'm not going to get into too many details, but today is my grandmother's 92nd birthday. There was a little bit of a situation where I might have had to leave town, but my grandmother told me in no uncertain terms, I am not allowed to miss this meeting. So I will, in fact, be unavailable this weekend, but if you need me, just reach me by phone. I'm not going to be checking my email. Second thing second, please do read the minutes. Jackson Hall Initiative, going great. Meeting next Monday. If you'd like to be involved, I got to email you. But other than that, that should be everything for me.
Awesome. This will now take us out of officer reports and into committee and liaison reports, beginning with our admin and finance committee, Chair Dressel.
Yes, so we had 4 appointments in admin, all passed without any no votes on Monday. So we'll be able to finish up and fill the rest of the vacancies, not this week because of the long code bill meeting, but the week following. I'm getting on that and making sure that the candidates that we presented are ready and know what to expect when they show up at this entity. So that's pretty much it for admin this week. That's right.
Thank you very much. Moving on to services, Chair McCoy.
Everyone, did a little bit this week. Big thing was we're drawing up the final plans for the Grove, at least for this semester. Talking about, we're writing up the memorandum of understanding that will be signed. Paulies and Celine are within student government working on it, and then there is another person named Eden with the Green Coalition working on it. We will be consulting the University Design Manual and Daniel Nolan from Greenhouse and Gardens to help have the design made. Otherwise, I met with a student named Hannah Kobe, who's very interested in expanding food resources on campus, and the meeting felt like a nice example of how we could help students, because she didn't know where to go, she didn't know who to talk to, and it was a very quick and easy thing to do. So if anyone reaches out to you, make sure you meet with them, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Committee, newly appointed Chair Watt.
Hi guys. Dama time most likely will be moving because not a lot of people can come, and also our secretary can't really come, which we want them there. We have code bills regarding the potential new Dama positions, so if you guys have any questions about that, you can ask me, ask your law, any one of us. I'm working on the Women's History Month initiative with Senator Harris and President Clinton. That's about it that I do.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our former newly appointed University Life Chair, Chair Williams.
Hey guys, not much from me this week. It's going to be the last time you hear me say it. Homecoming is this weekend. Come out to the tailgate. A lot of effort's been put into it. Either come and get ice cream or come and serve ice cream. I'm going to echo what Paul said earlier. You're going to hear it from probably Jay and Lauren as well. Be safe, be smart this weekend. It's a big weekend, a lot of celebrations going on, but just be responsible. None of us want to see your name in any emails. Other than that, after this week, look out for stuff coming out of ULIF. I've been swamped with this tailgate, but a lot of stuff will pick up here coming later this month and in March. Other than that, have fun this weekend, be responsible, be safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to GCR, Chair Colombo.
Yeah, hi guys. We elected a new vice chair, so please congratulate Vice Chair Aiden Jacobs. And then we're going to be meeting with Fairfax legislators on March 7th. So if you have any questions or things you want me to talk to them about, please let me know. I yield.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the lovely academics, Chair Chazelle.
Hey everyone, so as of 3 hours ago, the new capstone project has been named. Fortunately, I cannot reveal the name at this time until next week. Come to academics, you might find out early. Next, me and Anna have a meeting with Sarah Montel regarding Registration Awareness Week. That will be happening Tuesday at 12. Next Tuition Town Hall, I have an idea for locations, and next committee meeting, we're going to go over what we want to talk about, the types of presentations we want, and just overall the kind of vibe we want to have at the Tuition Town Hall. Next, I'm doing my BASC search. I just need people for the College of Engineering, the Shar School of Education, and the College of Science. Next, I'm currently working on something with Undersecretary Samantha. She found someone who did not like the chem department so much that he made an open letter stating how much the chem department does not do their job correctly. It is 13 pages long. If you want the link, please let me know. I'll send it to you. I'm creating a survey for that. If you have any ideas for any questions, definitely let me know. Some of the questions I have are stuff like, did you fill out, what type of lab did you have? Did you fill out your student evaluations? I'm trying to get Curtis Show started on the student evaluation stuff that he has, the idea he has, so that I can start incorporating that into my stuff. Other than that, that's about it. You.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our liaisons, beginning with Faculty Senate Liaison Law.
The Faculty Senate meeting is next Wednesday at 3, so I'll be able to update you guys next week.
Amazing. Moving on to our second PR liaison, Chair Dressel.
Yeah, so I had a meeting with the PR department yesterday. Some things that were talked about were member highlights / initiative highlights that can go up on the website, just to make sure that we are more transparent and highlighting members that are doing great work. Other than that, there was just some talk about departmental communication, making sure that that's as strong as can be so that we can continue to improve on transparency, the website, all the good stuff that we've been working on. And PR, various members of PR, the PR department are going to be attending committee soon. So that's something I'm excited about to be there and, yeah, as I keep saying, continue to highlight the work we're doing.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the outreach liaison Applebaum.
Yeah, guys. Working on a couple initiatives that are very cool. Looking at an RSO basketball night. That's going to be awesome when it ever gets figured out. Long time until I tell you about that again. Senator Inga and I are working on a couple things like some how-to SG stuff. That's still in the works. A little bit less explicitly related to outreach, working on some student evaluations, initiatives and stuff like that, so that those are public for everyone. And I'll share more details about that stuff as it becomes more appropriate to go into detail. Other than that, an outreach form will be going out sometime next week. My plan is to send it out before the month is over so that you get the rest of the month to be able to do outreach if you haven't. Okay, and then have a couple days after the month is over. And if you still haven't done it by then, I won't get mad. I'll just send you to a rouge. Other than that, please keep doing outreach for your initiatives. I think it's really important that we're getting outreach done as a means of effectively speaking on behalf of the students, as we are their representatives, not their parents. So, with love, I yield.
Thank you very much. This will take us out of committee and liaison reports and into our public session, beginning with our executive report. President Warren.
Yes, I don't have too much to report, just some like dates and times to remember. As of right now, the Peary Project Student Government and NAACP has been meeting with facilities, and they've offered to fund 17 period dispensers around campus, Fairfax campus, Arlington campus, and Manassas campus, so that's a really huge win. So I'm really excited about that. We will have our first official meeting of facilities funding for it next week. Really excited about the partnership. Keep your calendars open for the SG retreat. Please sign up. It will be Friday, February 24th from 9 to 4 p.m. It is mandatory for both Senate and Cabinet. Each department, they're hosting their own little, spiel during the retreat, so please attend and listen to your peers. In addition, homecoming is this Saturday from 12 to 3, so please sign up to volunteer. The volunteer shifts are from 10 to 3:34. If you can offer to scoop ice cream, that'll be great. It is a little bit of an arm workout, but there's also volunteering to pour root beer. So if you want to pour root beer, you can do that too. If you don't want to scoop ice cream. But regardless, we really just want to see everyone there because a lot of SG alumni have contacted our student government Instagram page and me personally saying that they are going to attend. So it's just really nice for past SG alumni to meet current SG members just so you can form connections and see where they end up and maybe, see if they can get you a job at where they work at. So that's cool. I hope you can attend. It'll be really great. In addition, February 25th, which is a we're planning an SG outing. It's just like a little hangout sesh. We're planning on going to DC, having fun. We're planning the itinerary as we speak. So this is just a wonderful time to just, hang out with your peers, meet people that you really probably haven't met outside of student government. So if you can attend, it will be so much fun. We're thinking about attending like DC museums, going out to eat at the Eastern Market and all of that stuff. So it'll be a really great time. That's pretty much what I have. So I
Thank you very much. This will now bring us to our student involvement advisors, beginning with Advisor Kaplan.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hope you all are having a great week thus far. Happy Thursday. I know I'm excited it's Thursday. All right, so just some announcements this evening. And bear with me, I have some notes. So, first thing, I would like to acknowledge what happened at Michigan State University this past Monday evening. I hope that you take the time to reach out to your friends, your family, and really seek out resources here on campus. I know the first thing that I did when I came to Mason as an employee is I downloaded the safety app. That was one of the first things that I did, so I hope you all have that downloaded on your phone. I think for me personally, something that really impacted me in my life to really download safety apps, to look around me, to find an exit. So for those of you who know that I'm from Orlando, Florida, I worked at Valencia College, which is a community college, but they offer a bachelor and BS degrees as well. They have 60,000 students. They have 10 campuses in the Central Florida region, just to give you some background. And in 2016, Pulse happened, and I was a staff member at Valencia. And Valencia lost about 7 students in Pulse. And for those of you who don't know Pulse, it was an LGBTQI nightclub in Orlando, and someone decided to go in and do a mass shooting. And I encourage you also to Google it and do your own research as well. So ever since then, that had an impact on my life and how I conduct safety. So you just never know. Unfortunately, we live in a very, very scary world, and we really need to look out for one another and really make sure everyone is okay. So, as always, I am a listening ear. If you need to talk, if you need to vent, if you need a resource, I am certainly here, as well as SJ. And any staff member in SI can certainly help you connect the resources that you need. All right. Transitioning out of that, thank you for those who are volunteering at the homecoming tailgate on Saturday. I will be there working for SI as well as help support you all. I was asked to read a statement on behalf of student involvement, so I'm reading it to you all right now. All right. The homecoming tailgate and festival on Saturday is a time when many students enjoy an alcoholic beverage in the name of celebrating their time here at Mason. While that is okay if you are over the age of 21 and simply enjoying your Saturday. However, if you are volunteering on behalf of student involvement, student government, inclusive of your role within your employment or departmental student organizations, so if you know you're a departmental student organization, the consumption of alcohol or being under the influence of any illicit substance is not allowed no matter your age. So if you're volunteering, right? Sophia asked you to sign up for shifts. You're volunteering. I don't want to see it. If you plan to engage in tailgate activities after your shift is over, please make it clear to staff, so myself, or another student involvement full-time staff member, that you are not working and you're off duty. If we discover that you are under the influence while working or working or volunteering, you will be subject to disciplinary action. So that is your warning. So don't say you didn't hear it. All right? All right. Transitioning out of homecoming. All right. This is in connection to resolution number 55. So I know that you all want to get input on what should go in the hub after student involvement leaves and goes to JC. I suggest that you connect with Lauren Long, who is our executive director, as she is involved with the groups that are talking about spaces and can put you in touch with the correct people. I will say that you need to move fast because this is, this might move faster than your student government timeline that you I also suggest that when you put resolutions through that have to do with, input from students, that you have some data already to back it up. I mean, if you have an assessment out there and you put that number in the resolution, because things move fast, and I want you to be able to be prepared for that. So let's say 100 students, you found through an assessment that 100 students want counseling to be moved in the hub. I'm just making this up, right? You can put that in the resolution. Any survey that you put out needs to go through me. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're doing it on behalf of student government, it needs to go through me. I don't want to find some random flyer in the JC that is student government survey, because I will meet with you and be like, what's up? I just want to see your survey. I just want to see what it is, help you, assess, all that good stuff. All right. Lastly, if you have any questions about budget, please meet with me. Like I said earlier, I'm going to meet with Curtis next week. He reached out, had some questions. Fantastic. I encourage you all to do that. I encourage you all to feel empowered to know where your money is going. Why is it going there? So when you're creating bills and resolutions, you have an idea. But you really should be empowered and know what's in your budget. All right? Sound like a plan? All right.
All right, thank you, Advisor Kaplan. Moving on to Advisor LaBoard.
It's popping. So you guys already heard from Sophia, but I was going to reiterate this. SU Retreat, Friday, February 24th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check-in starts at 8:30 a.m. Be there, be square. It's going to be in Horizon 2009, so not go up any stairs. Pretty cool. Outside of that, committee chairs, please respond and update Chief of Staff Batty with your presentation so that can be finalized. I want to make sure everything can flow as smoothly as possible for this event, so you guys aren't just sitting around and wondering why you're here and make your time as useful as possible. And then last but not least, just wanted to give you all your flowers while you guys are still here. Really appreciate you guys for all of your attentiveness during committee. I've seen you guys for weeks on end talk about being more active and present in committee meetings and having those conversations in those spaces instead of coming to Senate and letting it all out in the chamber. And being someone who goes to most of the committee meetings, I have seen a large increase of conversation and discussion in committee meetings. So just want to give you guys a pat on the back for that. It's really good to see you guys taking your own advice into your own hands. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. This will now move us to the gallery members. Gallery members are acknowledged. If you'd like to speak, Secretary Pidak.
Yeah, so regarding the retreat that you've heard so much about already, the admin slot for the SG retreat is going to be SG Talent Show. I just put out a sign-up form for that on Slack, so anyone who's interested is free to sign up. It's done a little bit unusually. I gave options for the minimum and maximum amount of time of performing, just so that you can fit people in and be flexible depending on the number of acts we have. So I don't know like it. And yeah, that's all. If you have any questions about that, just text me. I gave my number inside the form.
Thank you very much. Secretary Winter.
This is sort of a personal announcement, but I just wanted to say I unfortunately am still recovering from my concussion. I am not able to do more than 30 minutes of screen time without getting nauseous or really headachy. So if you email me or text me or anything and I don't get back to you, it's not because I don't care or because I'm not invested. I'm just trying to recover. I don't have a whole lot going on with Donna right now just because I'm trying to recover as quickly as possible, but I just wanted to put that out there so everybody knows.
Any other gallery members who would like to speak at this time? Alrighty, seeing none, this will take us out of the public session and into old business. However, today there is no old business, so that will bring us right into new business. Starting with resolution number 55, a resolution to investigate what students want to add to the hub. This will go to the UI committee. Resolution number 56, a resolution to support the Turkish and Syrian communities at George Mason will go to the Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Committee. And bill number 35 through bill number 44 will go to the Admin and Finance Committee, as these are all code bills and will be discussed this coming week. So again, if you have anything to say on any of these bills, please either be at admin and finance or let someone who is in the committee know your concerns so that they are addressed. This will take us out of new business and into other business, beginning with the appointment to the Student Senate. And in this section, we will begin with a Christopher Dayton. Is there a Christopher? Do you have a candidate statement?
I do.
All right, this is your time.
Hi, my name is Christopher Dayton. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Chris Dayton. I'm a freshman. I'm a major in global affairs. I have a little bit of experience with student-led government forums in high school. I did Model NATO, where I got to meet with a captain in Turkish Armed Forces, and he taught me about the history and politics of the country and mentored me to participate in a mock NATO forum, which I actually got to do. That was a great experience. I met a lot of really great people, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about public speaking. I learned a lot about collaboration with others, and something I think will be really important for this specifically is I learned how to problem solve via a certain framework of rules and codes, which is kind of what student government is all about. As for why I'm interested in joining student government, I'm interested in public service, and I don't think there's any better place to start than on campus. I also think I have some pretty good ideas for how to improve campus life. I have some specific initiative ideas, such as repainting some of the bike lanes on campus green so that they are visible at night, so that bikers at night can not be hit by cars, they can be seen visibly. I also think it'd be interesting to see if we could put some sort of physical barrier in between the bike lane and the rest of the road, whether it be in the form of plastic bollards, the kind we use at street events to block off certain parts of the road, or a more permanent option, whatever it may be. For this reason, I'm interested in joining the University Services Committee. One, because it aligns with my schedule, and two, because it kind of fits what I'm interested in. I'm also interested in joining the Government and Community Relations Committee, because I'm interested in finding ways to expand the presence of George Mason and student government in the Fairfax community. We pay a lot every semester to George Mason, and I just want to make sure everyone's getting their money's worth. Thanks. I yield.
Thank you very much. This will now bring us to questions for the candidate. So on behalf of the candidate's sake, how this is going to work is I'm going to ask if any of the senators have any questions. If they do, I'm going to call on them one at a time. They're going to state your question not directly towards you, but so they're going to, for example, say, does the candidate or can the candidate, for example. And then once they finish their question, I'm going to turn to you and ask if you would like to yield for the question. You do have the option to not answer a question, but if you do yield for it, i.e. if you say yes, then you will answer the question. If you say no, then you don't have to answer the question, and we can either, if they have another question, or we can move on to the following individual, and that should go until either time runs out or nobody has any questions remaining. So this will now open it up to questions for the candidate. Are there any questions for the candidate? Senator Applebaum.
So you kind of expressed some of the initiatives that you have ideas about, both specifically and broadly. Given that there's not a whole lot of time left in this particular term, how do you back yourself to initiate things quickly and effectively, and if they are longer-term projects specifically, so that they can be carried out to execute the things that you desire to get in this short period of time?
Do you yield for your question?
Yes, sure. So I'd have to see what resources are available to me once I'm actually in, if I am. And once that happens, I can give you a better answer. As of right now, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be able to do about these specific problems. And I hope that, I could work with other people in the Senate to carry on these initiatives past my tenure. So that's all I have to say. I yield.
Does this answer your question? Beautiful. Any other questions for the candidate? All right. Quick one that I have. How did the candidate hear about the SG application? Do you have the question?
I do. I just heard about it through friends that are in the student government.
Very interesting. All right. Well, that answers my question. If there are no questions, or actually, second question. What school and major does the candidate fall under? Do you have the question?
I do. You said school and major? Oh,
answers my questions. Are there any other questions for the candidate? All right, seeing none, I'll ask that the candidate leave the room at this time so we can go to discussion and debate. again, you are not yet a full-fledged senator. You cannot vote yet. We will be doing the oath of office after all of the appointments before we go into the appointment to the executive cabinet on behalf of ease and Clerk Connell's sanity. So let's keep going in there. But this will move us on to our second appointment of the night. Sarah Liam King, you have a candidate statement.
Yes. Good afternoon. I'm here today looking to become a student senator so I can work to alleviate key areas of difficulties students face. Number one, many students at George Mason University are struggling to continue to access higher education and basic needs. Number two, underrepresented students lack support to deal with their struggles. And number three, I don't feel we've adequately created a space for students to come with us with their struggles. You all have access to my resume, and I believe I've made it clear my capabilities. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'll be more than happy to provide an answer. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This will now move us on to questions for the candidate. Are there any questions for the candidates? And there have been one.
Yeah, have them.
Hey.
Can you walk me through why you want to join the Senate? Or Speaker White, can the candidate speak to why he wants to join the Senate?
Would you like to give the question?
Yes. I would like to explore the opportunities, learn more about myself, learn more about what my interests are, where I want to end up in the future.
Thank you very much. Does this suffice? All right. Any other questions for the candidate? Senator Curtis.
On top of exploring themselves, could the candidate speak a little more to what they hope to do differently in this role as senator versus secretary?
Do you have a question?
Yes. So I believe there are a lot more opportunities to impact the direction of student government as a whole and student senate. I think I have a lot of great ideas that I can bring to the student senate. This past semester and the semester prior, I put in a lot of work along with Chairman Foley to make sure that service is in a great place. I would like to continue that work and the diligence that I've taken to develop a department, bring it to the Senate, bring it to programs that I haven't been able to work on yet. And yeah.
Thank you very much. Does this answer your question?
Yes. Follow-up question though. Could the candidate speak to this new direction that they'd like to bring Senate to?
Do you have further questions?
Yes, I believe there are a lot of great opportunities to really reach out to students, bring students in here. Besides Cool Camp prior to Cool Camp, we haven't had too many students in this body to really communicate what their issues are. I think there are a lot of opportunities to really reach out to students and talk about, or ask them what their problems are. We cannot expect them to come to us and say, these are my problems. Oftentimes we need to meet them in the middle and really communicate with them and to understand what students really want us to advocate for. We talk a lot about polling and trying to know what the students want, but if we actually have a genuine connection to the student body, then we're not going to need to do polling because we already know what students want. Additionally, with disability services, I'd like to work a lot more closely. I'd like to work a lot more closely with other offices that I was not able to work with in my Secretary of Services role. And generally just expand, more of my site to student government and try to pitch in wherever I can.
Does this answer your question?
Yes.
Any other questions for the candidates? Alrighty, seeing none, I'll ask the candidate to leave the room at this time. third appointment of the night. Do you have a Zara Singh? How's the last name? Simon.
Yes.
Do you have a candidate statement?
Sure, yes.
The floor is yours.
Hello everyone, I'm Zara. I'm a junior in neuroscience major, cultural science, and I'm glad to be here with you all. And so I have some experience with suicide prevention association, and I have close contact with some of the directors. And one of my major initiatives is to bring out their darkness walk on this campus, because there are walks on other universities that it's not in this community, and one of my goals is to bring them to Eastern community to support the loss of suicide, if anyone lost or if they're for their own struggles. And also I want to bring out a safe space to speak about raising awareness of suicide prevention, warning signs, and what to do and not to do before someone is going to attempt. And I think it's important before going to the counseling services, the students can have a space to go to their peers instead of the counseling service to talk about the signs and not to do and not to do for other friends that they may have, so they can support their mental health, because college is hard enough. We don't need any more hardships along the way. And my other goal is to this may take a long time, but is a safety app for suicide prevention, is that so the person who is thinking about suicide can have the app, and someone may call them or contact them before if they don't want to contact them themselves, because I have been cerebral suicide attempts myself, so I know how hard it might be to reach out to someone if they don't want to, and if they don't think about reaching out because they don't want to be a burden. But the app can prevent that awkwardness between the friends or stranger, because I also do a crisis line excellent counseling as part of my basically hobby, besides just volunteering. And also I volunteer with the suicide prevention as a presenter, and also talk Save Lives, because we talk about how we can save other people's lives through talk. So I have initiated a program that it's called Psychology instead of psychiatry, and so it's like before the student goes to counseling services, that might be intimidating, so the student can feel more comfortable with their own peers instead of someone like a psychologist, and maybe it's all confidential and they don't have to bring names or anything, but it's a safe space for them for transition from anywhere that they have, especially for the first generation students.
Thank you so much. We now bring us to questions for the candidate. So are there any questions for the candidate at hand? Senator Jacobs.
Can the candidate speak to what, in their view, how their experience, their background in science and neuroscience, can they speak to what their view of how beneficial that will be to student government?
Do you have a question?
Yes. I don't know if my neuroscience major would affect, but I think my personal experience would affect as my role as a senator to bring out my initiatives to the committee and connect that to the student body. And I think that would be more beneficial than my major, but also my major can bring out research and officials if they need them as a resource.
Does this answer your question?
Yes.
you very much. Any other questions from the candidate at hand? All righty. Well, seeing none, I'll ask that you leave the room at this time. And brought to my attention that another organization somehow has this room at 6 p.m. So we are going to be looking at moving to Merton 1203, where cabinet is going to be held today. So if you could move over there at this time, we're going to
Let's take it like so hit stop recording, stop.
Senators to be in front of my eyesight. So Max, you're in my peripheral, so you need to move. We're going to say you can't go past beyond Curtis. Senator, you're good, Senator. That is acceptable. I'll accept that. Senator Dayton and Simon, if you could also make your way over towards that side of the wall, just so I can see you, and especially when it comes to the oath of office. You don't have to come back down here, but just so I can see you. Okay, awesome. I know a little bit crazy, guys, but we roll with the punches, so we're going to start off where we ended off. So this is going to bring us to our last appointment to the Student Senate for the night. Once again, congratulations now, Senator Simon. Wanted to make sure you got that before we moved on. So moving on to, we have an Ariana Stokes here. Do you have a candidate statement?
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, student body. My name is Ariana Stokes. I am part of the Shar School as a government and international politics major with a minor in legal studies. I do not have any government experience, whether in school or outside of school, because while I was in high school, I worked full-time to help support my mom and my sister after my father was permanently disabled in his military service when I was in around second grade. So I work a lot, and I take advantage of a lot of George Mason services, such as parking and dining, housing. I am almost a member of the BSA. I'm going to be turning in my dues very soon. I've also been to 4 years of summer camp, which was Envision, and they are a pretty mid organization in the DC area, in which we got to explore DC and learn more about legal cases and things like that. I am very interested in joining Student Senate because I have met a lot of people throughout my first year, or not even first year yet. We're only a couple months in, not even all the way there yet. So I've met a lot of people, and they have all expressed different concerns to me about Mason and different positive things about Mason that the student government has been a part of, or even Mason as a school has just been a part of. And when we would discuss, hey, why don't we go to a student senate meeting and talk about it, there was always the excuse of, oh, I'm working, oh, I'm busy, too many extracurriculars. And I completely understand that, because with me working, it usually does take up time. But this semester I said, well, I should be a doer. I should go, I should speak, I should use the voice that I was given, I should use the experiences that I have experienced. And yeah, that is basically my refined version of the speech. If you're going to take anything away from this, it would be that I'm very outgoing, I love volunteering, and I would be very happy to be a voice for the people of Mason to make positive change here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This will now bring us to questions for the candidate. Are there any questions for the candidate? All right. Senator Sheksalani.
Can the candidates speak to their ability to resolve conflicts?
Do you yield to the question?
I yield. My ability to resolve conflicts, I would say I have retained that ability from taking a 300 level conflict resolution course during my first semester as a freshman. Also as my ability to work with children as an instructor of martial arts. I know that at Mason we don't see a lot of children, but I do and firmly believe that everyone does have a little bit of a child inside of them, and all they really want is to be talked to calmly and have decisions and different conflicts resolved quickly and orderly.
Thank you very much. Does this answer your question? Good. Any other questions for the candidate? Alrighty, easy peasy. I will ask you to leave the room at this time so we can move into discussion and debate.
Thank you.
Alrighty. We will invite the candidate back in. Unfortunately, Ms. Stokes, the body has determined that you are not fit to be a senator. Thank you, however, for going through the appointment process. There is an upcoming election. If you do wish to join the Student Senate come next year or come our next student government, however, at this time, you are unfortunately not able to join us. So thank you again, and we wish you the best.
Thank you for your time and deliberation, Senate body.
Have a great one.
Excuse me.
All right, this will now bring us to our next, or I almost forgot, it's time for the oath of office. So if our three individuals who just got appointed to the Senate could please come up here so I can give you the oath of office, and then you will have your voting privileges. All right, you guys ready? All right, if you could raise your right hand, please. Unfortunately, it's not on the screen. You're just going to have to read after me. So if you'll read after me, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the Student Body Constitution of George Mason University, and that I will faithfully and honorably discharge all the duties incumbent upon me as an officer of the students to the best of my ability. All right, congratulations. So now, unfortunately, we're not in our kind of normal situation, so if you can, just find a place close, and when we go for our next appointment, you will be called on this time for a vote, now that you are a full-fledged senator. So, moving on to the appointment to the Executive Cabinet, we have for the Secretary of University Services, Genevieve Glacier. Do you have a candidate statement?
Point of personal privilege, may I be excused from the chamber?
Yes.
Where do you want me to stand?
Wherever you like.
Okay, what's up, guys? Hi, friends. I hope you guys are all doing well tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Genevieve Glasser, and for the past semester, I've had the privilege of being Undersecretary for Parking and Transportation. But right now, I'm trying to expand my role in helping the student body as Secretary of University Services. Throughout my time in parking and transportation, I've had the opportunity to work with many people from many different corners of campus, including facilities, sustainability, dining, and of course parking. I've also had the privilege of expanding my work in the services department outside of my role through facets like Greater Services, Maintain Mason, the Culinary Council, and Green Coalition. Serving under the leadership of now Senator Liam Keene has given me the knowledge, determination, and moral compass to guide our services team to success by placing public service before all. I understand my expectation to follow in the footsteps of a successful predecessor, and I will strive to live up to his legacy while bringing a fresh and innovative approach to future initiatives. Services is a vital part of student government as well as our university. Placing fair, equal access, students' well-being, and comfortability at the forefront of our mission, services ensure our students have the resources they need to thrive, and I commit to applying those values to every project that I pursue in services. Another value I will lean on is internal effectiveness. I aim to be a tool for success that each undersecretary can count on daily, an open ear for all new ideas, and a staunch advocate for our team. Under my leadership, all 7 secretaries will have the proper resources and administrative support that they need to thrive. I know she's not here right now, but I want to thank President Nguyen for entrusting me with this position. And I want to thank all of you guys for your time and your consideration. And with that, I yield it back to you.
Thank you very much. This will now move us on to questions for the candidate. Are there any questions for the candidate? Senator Shekslani. Yep. Chairman Coley.
Our services department has a lot of moving parts to it, a lot of different people we need to talk to. Could the candidate handle having 5 to 7 to 8 meetings a week with their current schedule?
Do you yield for the question?
I do. Yes, I think time management is really important and key to the role that I'm about to trying to step into, and I am fully ready to organize my schedule accordingly to make time for everybody that I need to meet. This is very important to me. I want to make the school a better place. I want to help student government, so I'll do everything I can to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I will ask the senators to not engage in side conversations, as it is a breach of decorum, and if it continues, it will be issued strike. So, we'll go to Senator Babar.
Could the candidates speak on how well they performed the previous duties under Secretary of Parks and Master or however long they had it? How would they rate themselves, and how would you think that these qualities would translate into becoming Secretary of Something?
Do you for the question?
Yes, I do have a question. During my time as the Undersecretary of Parking and Transportation, I was able to interact with a lot of admin, not only Josh Cantor, but I spoke to a lot of different departments that related to my field, including facilities, rec, a lot of other admin people. But while I was working on my initiatives for parking and transportation, I did a lot with Culinary Council. I helped with sustainability in the Green Coalition. So apart from my parking responsibilities, which I continue to work on, I also worked on other aspects of services. So I'm ready to take all of those experiences and lessons that I learned from communication with admin into a secretary position.
Thank you very much. Does this answer the question? All right. Were there any more questions for the candidates? All right. Seeing none, I will ask that you leave the room at this time. amazing job. This will now take us out of other business and into announcements / points of privilege. Are there any announcements / points of privilege? Senator Racine.
Well, I didn't think I'd go first. Since we're going to be busy with code bills next week, I'll just make the announcement now. As I announced in GCR, for those who have a stake in the matter as I do, President Biden's student loan forgiveness initiative is going before the Supreme Court on the 28th. The cases, both cases, Biden v. Nebraska and Board of Education v. Brown, not to be confused with Brown v. Board, will be heard. I already said that, the 28th. Been a long time.
Thank you very much. Chair Williams.
I lied. Not the last time you were here about homecoming. This is. How about homecoming? I've got no sleep over it past week. But yeah, work the FG tent. It'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of things going on. Go to the basketball game. Hall reserve some seats for y'all, so get there early. Sit with some of your friends. Be safe. Be responsible. Have a great weekend. See y'all next week.
Thank you very much. Secretary Keeler.
Just want to remind, I know I already said it, but please sign up for the SG Talent Show. That's all. I yield.
Thank you very much. Secretary Hammer.
3 real quick things. I want to thank Undersecretary Burke for talking to President Nguyen about letting me get access to editing the website. I look forward to helping keep the website up to date. I'd like to just really quick congratulate the new senators and Secretary Glasser for their approval. And then I've had a few senators, or particularly the vice chairs, talk to me about possibly doing like a minutes workshop. I'm interested in seeing what I can do with that initiative, talk about the revising process, reporting process, and the steps I do to protect people's privacy. With that, I yield.
Secretary Lane.
Yeah, so on topic of homecoming, if you could just sign up for the last spots on the sign-up genius, we just need some people to help clean up afterwards. So all we need is like 2 or 3 people. If you could just sign up on that, we really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Newly appointed Senator Keenan.
Yes, I am excited to be in this body. If you need any help with initiatives, I'm more than happy to help. I've experienced within the executive cabinet for over a year. And if you have any initiatives, I'd like to be able to assist you in any way possible, whether that's you just want to talk to someone to get initiatives through, or want someone to come with you to meet with different departments or offices.
Senator Inge.
So on the academics committee, we're planning this breakfast since now. So if you have any idea you'd like to see on this breakfast for final week, please let me know. And also, I'll be working and planning on a how to SU workshop for organizations on campus, and also like a general workshop for all the student bodies. So if any of you are interested in helping me do this, or if you have any organization contact you'd like these workshops take place on, please let me know. I do.
Thank you very much, Chairman Coley.
We're doing another maintain Mason tomorrow. We're going to be cleaning up by the Eagle Bank lots to make it look nice and pretty for the homecoming. If anybody would like to join me, I'll be there. We meet at 12 at the hub. It'll be a nice time. That's all.
Senator Avalon.
Yeah, I'm gonna word this carefully, or interesting, I guess, is a better way to put it. Read the minutes for next meeting so that the meeting can run efficiently. The time that we spend in the body is really important, and the meeting is going to be long. Have an energy drink before, get a meal before. I don't want us to undercut discussion and debate on stuff that is super important just because people want to go home. Expect the meeting to be long, read the minutes to prepare so that you can point of order someone if they say something that we already should know the answer to, even though Lee does a good job with stuff like that. And other than that, the outreach form's going out next week. Please do outreach, keep doing outreach. Love you all. Thank you.
Senator Keenan.
If anyone wants to read the minutes of someone, because it can get boring, I offer myself to be in the committee room at sometime Wednesday, let's go ahead and say 3 p.m., and I will read the minutes with you. I yield.
Thank you very much. And now move on to Clerk Conley.
Yeah, I've got 5 things that I forgot in my report earlier. Sorry, I got flustered. The first of which is be safe this weekend. If I get back on Monday and the first thing on my desk is that you guys acted a fool, I'm sending this guy after you. The second one is a thing with procedures when you're, the difference between a public session and a closed session. Point of personal privilege to leave the chamber. You only have to do that when we are in old business, new business, other business. During presentations, during reports, chair reports during announcements. You do not have to ask to leave. The third thing is that I sent out a Slack message earlier today, or yesterday, asking about another legislation workshop. Please see that. Please reach out to me about any code bills or if you guys need anything else. I also had at least 6 people reach out to me upset about the first part of my message where I didn't say anything nice at the beginning of the journal. So the holiday for today is International Anthropology Day. So,
speaker person for Gemini.
All right, hello everybody, it is me. Firstly, I just want to say congratulations to the new appointees. I hope you all do really, really well in this position and find it just as fulfilling as the rest of us do. Secondly, wanted to say congratulations to the body. We had a pretty well-run meeting today. Didn't have like the same thing said 15 times, which is an A+ in my book. So really good job on all of that. On to personal initiative updates for me because I do this in the announcements always. Currently working on meeting with the family care person to increase publicity. If you want to get in on that, please let me know. That's next Wednesday. I don't know the time yet. Yeah. Also, working on getting a meeting with the Mason 360 people, because Mason 360 sucks. So if you have any like gripes, complaints, whinging, moaning, etc., about Mason 360, please enumerate that and send me an email about them so I can bring them up in a list. For Patriot Web, I asked you all to do the same, and I just kind of had to sit there and go through with them for about 2.5 hours the entire website. Because there were no enumerated lists apart from it kind of sucks, which valid. Unfortunately, with Mason 360, I won't be able to do that because it is a much larger web service. So please, I beg. Anyway, on to my third initiative. I'm currently working on getting University 100 curriculums sent to me. So if you're in that class, please send me your curriculum or like your syllabus, etc., etc. You know what I'm talking about. If you know somebody at University 100, please get them to send you the syllabus, who then send me the syllabus. I'm currently working on trying to get Patriot Web Services implemented as like a little unique course in University 100 because no one knows what Patriot Web does, no one knows what Linktree does, no one even knows about Patriot People Finder, which was really funny. But yeah, the school pays for a lot of web services that they don't advertise. I'm trying to fix that. So please help me in this endeavor. And for our new senators, I know it's like a super long report. I'm going to have super long announcements. I'm sorry. Anyway, just like quick, brief reminders. Read the minutes. You'll get an email. I know they're super, super dry, but I'll put a lot of effort into them. Much appreciated. Read Robert's Rules of Order. All the motions that we just had, there's like handy cheat sheets just available online. If you need one, send me an email, feel free, and I will respond to you with a cheat sheet that I used when I was learning Robert's Rules of Order. Or you can just like buy and read the book if you want to waste more money. But sick. I can wait. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Go to the homecoming game. Was not the last time you heard about it. Anyway, go Patriots.
Thank you very much. Speaker Pro Tem Jonathan really wants us to hit 7 p.m. So if there's nothing else, I will be ending it off with my announcements. I'm going to start with the low, go up to the highs. So I like to think of me and Speaker Pro Tem Jonathan relationship as good cop, bad cop. But unfortunately, I work my villain and hero eras work in cycles like the economy, and certain people are pushing my hero era into the villain era. So as I'm trying to get to, specifically starting next week, we're really going to be, some people like to kind of abuse decorum a little bit, talk to the people to their side, use their phone, blah, blah, blah. So starting next week, we will be starting to call you out, and unfortunately, I will tell you, unfortunately, that Arush will be sending you an email post the meeting. So please, 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 I hate being that guy, but it is my job. I do have to do it. So just keep that in mind as you're talking to others during the, just don't abuse decorum. And if you don't know what that is, I'd love to have a conversation with you about it, or you'll find out in the moment, and then you'll be 2 strikes closer to the end. But We don't want that. So start off with the low, now we're going up to the high. As I said before, President Washington, Rector Blackman, who is the essentially chair of the BOE, you can think of him as well as Vice President Rose Pasquarello, coming March 2nd. As I've been saying, please give me questions by next Tuesday. Code bills, going through admin, make sure you either are there giving quality discussion or you give someone who is going there quality discussion. And then also, I won't talk about homecoming, you already know. Then new senators, again, congratulations, expect an email from me, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow morning. And then also, last but not least, unfortunately my role prevents me from doing a lot of non-administrative initiatives. However, one that I aim to accomplish before the end of this term is going to be my quote-unquote lights out initiative. Me and Senator Ferris are currently working together on it. If anybody else would like to join our little band of misfits or would like more information about it, basically it's this big initiative for maybe one night or maybe just an hour, try and turn off all the non-essential lights on campus that wouldn't hinder safety and see potentially how much power the university saves during that period of time. And if it's a lot of money, amazing, maybe we can look at doing it more often or other pathways. So that is all I have, and it is 6:59, so if there are no other announcements, I hereby adjourn this meeting.
I would have never